Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for December 19, 2023, Go-Go killed after accompanying a woman home after party. The Point Hill police in the St. Catherine North Division are now searching for two gunmen who they believe are responsible for the death of Omar Lennon, otherwise called Go-Go. The 42-year-old farmer from Lookout, Gordon Hill in the parish, was reportedly shot and killed early Monday morning on his way from a round robin. According to the police, about 1:30 a.m., Lennon accompanied a female to her home in the community when they were attacked by two armed men who robbed the female of a Samsung cellular phone valued at $35,000 and $30,000 in cash. Lennon reportedly attempted to flee but was shot by the gunmen. Passers-by found his body about 7:40 a.m. and called the police. He was pronounced dead at the Spanish Town Hospital. The police say robbery was the motive for the murder. Defense tackles the lead investigator over device statements. John Jacobs, one of 5 attorneys representing murder-accused Everton Beachy South MacDonald, took the investigator to task over his statements and a cellular phone during cross-examination on Monday. MacDonald is charged with Oscar Barnes for the murder of the former's second wife, Tonya. Jacobs noted that the lead investigator wrote 3 statements, the latest after the trial had started. He also pointed out that the cell phone that the Crown is relying on and its extracts came into play after the trial began. The cell phone in question is believed to be the device of Denvalin Bobla Minot, a Crown witness, now serving 19 years for Tonya's murder, said he used it to secretly record the businessman. The cell phone in question is believed to be the device that Denvalin Bobla Minot, a Crown witness now serving 19 years for Tonya's murder, said he used it to secretly record the businessman. Minot said that MacDonald offered him $3 million to kill his wife. However, he subcontracted the hit to Barnes. You agree with me that you submitted 3 statements, and 2 of those statements were prepared before the trial start, and the other one was prepared since the trial start? Jacob asked the detective sergeant. Yes, sir. Correct. The lead investigator replied. Jacobs then said he made no mention of a Samsung E31 cellular phone, and the cop agreed. And you made no mention of an SD card in any of those statements? Jacobs quizzed. That's true, the cop said. When preparing the statements, the first 2 that is, did you use your notebook to assist you? The attorney continued. The witness answered in the affirmative, indicating also that his notes were consulted when preparing the 3rd statement after the start of the trial. So the information about the phone not being in those 2 statements before the trial started, was it intentionally done or by accident? Jacobs asked. It was intentionally done, replied the senior cop, also answering that he considered it important, which is why he made a note of it. He explained further that it would take a very long time to list all the information concerning the phone. I'm suggesting to you the reason you made no mention of a Samsung E31 in your statement before the trial start was because there was no such phone before the trial started, Jacobs said. That's not true, sir, the detective sergeant said. As a matter of fact, the phone itself you claim to collect, that phone from CFCD after trial start. Did you claim to collect that phone after the trial start? Jacobs said, referring to the police's communication, forensics and the cybercrime division. Yes, sir, the cop admitted. Jacobs then told the court it was left to believe the investigation regarding the phone itself started after the trial started. It was also revealed that a forensic examination of a substance taken from a drawer in the office where MacDonald was arrested confirmed it to be sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is a corrosive substance capable of causing burns. The report was tendered into evidence. A witness previously told the court that MacDonald had sent him to purchase black acid and had instructed him to burn Tonya with it. The trial continues today. JCHS joins GTA's opposition to using sexual orientation. The Jamaica Coalition for a Healthy Society has thrown its weight behind the 25,000-strong Jamaica Teachers Association's position that utilization of the terms sexual orientation and gender identity should not be normalized in the education sector. On December 11, 2023, JTA President Lyndon Johnson, in calling for open discussions on the matter, said while the issue is not yet mainstream in Jamaica, the association is unbending in its stance that the natural line of distinction between sexes cannot be blurred by modern definitions. Gender identity, according to the World Health Organization, refers to a person's deeply felt, internal and individual experience of gender, which may or may not correspond to the person's physiology or designated sex at birth. According to the JTA head, subscribing to that definition would spell chaos for Jamaica. Let's look at the implications of all of this. In our country, we have schools that are gender-based. We have all female schools. We have all male schools. If as a nation we were to subscribe to this new definition of what gender is based on, one's intuition based on how one feels at a particular time, then this has serious implications for how we operate as an education sector, he told Tyrell Morgan, host of virtual talk show Heart to Heart at the time. These are the conversations we must have. As a nation, the church, and any other group, we need to continue to stand against this kind of thinking. Of course, there are those who will want to promote this modern thinking. There are those who would indicate that our position is archaic and outdated and doesn't have a basis, but I would continue to promote the thinking that we are a Christian nation and it is the Bible that defines our morality, the JTA president said. On Monday this week, the JCHS, in a statement to the news, said it firmly stands with Johnson in rejecting the acceptance or utilization of the terms sexual orientation and gender identity in the education sector. According to the coalition, SOGI is neither accepted in Jamaican law nor in any binding international treaty. The terms sexual orientation and gender identity are based on false and flawed ideas. A person's sex is either male or female and is determined from conception. No matter what a person may feel about him or herself, sex can never be changed. It is biologically and medically impossible, JCHS head Dr. Wayne West asserted. According to Dr. West, to affirm that a man can become a woman or a woman can become a man by undergoing surgeries or taking hormones is to aid and abet someone's confusion and delusion. Such a person needs sound counseling support to regain a correct sense of self. Furthermore, homosexual and bisexual sexual preferences are abnormal and run against the design and the purpose of the natural order of the universe, the JCHS president asserted. He further argued that the societal chaos that would result from introducing those terms into law and policy is not imagined but can be clearly seen in the experiences of other nations such as the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada, which have normalized those terms. According to Dr. West, such countries have found themselves in deeper problems by normalizing these terms. In accepting gender identity, males who feel they are female are being allowed to use female bathrooms, play on female sports teams, and in Canada, convicted male sex offenders are permitted to transfer to female prisons, putting the female inmates at risk for sexual assault by the male impostors, Dr. West argued. Sexual orientation is undefined and potentially unlimited in its scope, going beyond the homosexual, heterosexual, and bisexual, and can include other criminally prohibited behaviors such as incest, pedophilia, and bestiality, the JCHS had warned. Legal counsel for the JCHS, attorney Shirley Richards, in the meantime, said the use of the word gender to classify humans is extremely suspect. Of note is that there is no constitutional basis for use of the word gender in this manner. The report of the Joint Constitutional Committee 2001, which oversaw public discussion on and deliberated on the amendments to the Constitution, namely the Charter of Rights, recognized that gender refers to the grammatical classification of nouns and related words. However, the word sex is the more appropriate designation for humans. The resulting Section 13(3)(I) in the Charter of Rights therefore expressly provides for one classification of humans, namely sex being either male or female, Richards pointed out. In the meantime, JCHS advocacy officer Philippa Davis said most individuals are in the dark as to the popularization of the terms and the ill effects. Most persons are unaware that it was in the 1960s and 70s that Dr. John Money, 1921 to 2006, popularized the terms gender and gender identity. He was among the pioneers of the now discredited practice of sex reassignment surgery and was a proponent of pedophilia, Davis said. His most famous and disastrous experiment was to force the parents of Bruce Remmer to raise the boy as a girl, while Money routinely sexually traumatized Bruce and his twin brother as children. This experiment ended tragically, with both brothers becoming severely mentally distressed and committing suicide 2 years apart, while still in their 30s. The mainstreaming of the word gender in various policy documents and programs in Jamaica has really been based on grammatical inaccuracy and a sordid history, she declared. The JCHS is, in the meantime, urging government ministries, agencies, and departments to bring their activities and program titles in line with the Constitution by replacing gender with sex and thus avoiding what it says is the undesirable association with an unethical history in the false description of humans as a gender.